It is Wednesday night, December 15th, 2021, and you're listening to another brand new episode of the Kicking Out Podcast. I'm Tanner Lee, along with my co-host, Paul Zartman. Paul, a little chilly tonight. Little
Yeah,
brisk winter air. Winter is
winter
here.
is coming, or
It's
it
coming.
came, depending on how you want to look at it.
Right, it is coming, or in AEW's case, it has came. Fun show tonight from the Dallas,
Yes,
Texas area.
yes, perfect arena to do winter is coming in because Texas doesn't get winter.
Just like Florida last year at Daly's Place, and the snow
Yeah,
fell, and Sting made his debut. Hard to believe that was a year ago already.
I know. I cannot believe that Sting's been here for a year. At times, I want to go, man, I can't believe it's already been a year. And then there's other times where I'm like, man, it's only been a year.
Right. That's a good point. You can say that about a lot of things going on in AEW, I feel like. But fun show tonight.
Absolutely.
Before we get into that, there was something that happened Friday night on Rampage that I want to get your opinion on. That
All
was
right.
a long-awaited debut of Hook.
Hook has arrived.
Hook's debut against Fuego del Sol Friday.
Oh, it was good. I knew with how long they made us wait, this had to be good. Hook had to be good, and he was. I mean, there were points though that I'm sitting there looking at this kid going, "Are we sure he's old enough to be in that ring?" But he just came in and he rocked the house.
I believe he's 21 or 22. He's the second youngest roster member behind Dante Martin, who's 20.
Yeah.
But man, there's something about him. He looked the part. He looked smooth, and I mean, you can tell the AEW crowd's behind him because look today what happened. He unset CM Punk as the top selling pro wrestling T-shirt for the first time since August 20th.
Yes, congratulations, Hook. You make your debut, you get some merchandise, and it sells out.
And literally all the shirt says is Hook.
Yeah, it's just plain Hook. That's it.
The crowd loves him, and the crowd's loved him for months before he even made his debut.
I know it's hard to stay part of the heel team of Team Taz as a crowd favorite.
You know, the guy I feel bad for this is Ricky Starks.
Like, this poor kid.
Ricky.
Yeah, Ricky got overlooked for Brian Cage. Then he got overlooked for Powerhouse Hobbs. Now he's being overlooked for Hook. I mean, the poor guy might as well just start his own faction and call it, I've been overlooked.
Even though, spoiler alert, he's going to be one of my breakout stars for 2022.
Ooh.
We'll talk more in detail about that in our episode in 2 weeks on the 29th, on our last episode of 2021.
Yeah, I got to start putting my list together.
No. But I forgot. There's one of mine right there. So,
all right.
But man, what a way we kicked off the show tonight. I got to be honest, didn't see the show starting with the AEW World Championship being defended. I thought that would end the show tonight.
I figured, even going into this show, I'm going, man, we don't have any of this card. There are 3 matches. There's no way this is the entire card. I figured we'd do the Dynamite Diamond match, and then we'd have some unannounced matches. We'd hit that 9 o'clock mark. We'd get our women's match, and then we'd get our main event right after.
Now we got 4 matches tonight. We got a instant classic hour-long match to start. Then we got a squash match. Then our women's match. Then our main event for the Diamond Ring. But I saw somewhere on Twitter. It was a verified account. It had all 4 of these matches advertised, but also had an announcement for the Owen Hart Cup, and we didn't get that tonight.
No, there's been nothing for the Owen Hart Cup.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could go back and see who tweeted it. I'm going to try to find it real quick because it was a verified account, and that's why I liked it on Twitter, because I wanted to make sure it wasn't I don't want to say spam account, but
a fan-made thing.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find that real quick. But while I'm doing that, give us some of your thoughts on the opening match. I know we'll recap it in details.
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
I'll do that while you do this. I mean, it was a great match from start to finish. I think we were about 5-10 minutes into this, and I went, "This is ending in an unclear finish. There's no way they're going to have either one of these two eat the L." And I was honestly surprised when I heard 5 minutes remaining. I went, "Whoa, they are going to do this. There's no way." And then it was just close finish after close finish after close finish. I have never seen so many 2 counts in a match that I can recall. I mean, there may have been at some point, maybe a 60-minute Iron Man match, but other than that, there were a lot of 2 counts in this. I was glad for that. I was excited, honestly.
I cannot find the tweet, so maybe whoever posted it took it down. I don't know. But
Could have happened.
yeah, like you said, a great match, start to finish, had me on my edge of my seat. I mean, a lot of times it's hard for me to sit through an hour-long match, like an Iron Man match or something. But these two made it very compelling. I loved the storytelling within the match. I loved uh, Brian Danielson working over Hangman's shoulder and Hangman working on Danielson's shin after Danielson got a little too cocky and hit the ring post with a kick. I love the cocky side of Brian Danielson tonight. I thought that was going to cost him a couple times, being a little too overconfident and cocky. And then part of me thought it was going to cost Hangman when Hangman was kicking Danielson's head in. I thought Danielson was going to reverse it for a roll up. That didn't happen.
Yeah, when he let go to do that last kick, I went, all right, here's where he flips it around into something or, an ankle lock or something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. 2 clear F-bombs by both guys tonight.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to kick his head in. And I went, wow, TNT, you did not catch that. And well, if you right after that, not right after the first one, but he goes, you, and I'm like, dude, TNT, pay attention. Yeah. That's a hefty fine if you somebody complains about you letting the F-bomb fly on primetime television.
Added to the match, and Tony's got a deep wallet, so he doesn't care. But
yeah, he's probably like, all right, there's 3 times that I've got to write a big check for now. Dad, I need a little extra cash this week.
We saw Hangman get some color. We saw Hangman have a nasty, gnarly table spot.
Yeah. I don't know if that was the ring bell he hit. It sure looked like it. But when they showed it after the match, somebody had the ring bell when he was on the ground. So I don't know if they picked it up after, if they pulled it right before. But, I mean, his head's coming down, and that ring bell's still there. I don't know how he missed it if he did.
Yep. Yep, and then towards the end of the match, like I was saying earlier, we saw Danielson stomping Page's face in multiple times. Then he went for the Bazuki knee, I believe is how you pronounce it, but Page countered it into another Deadeye. Hangman went for the pin, but Danielson kicked out. Then Page began stomping Danielson's head in with his boot. He went for the buckshot lariat, but Danielson countered it into the label lock. Really thought Page might tap out there, but he stayed alive. We had less than a minute left. Page hit another buckshot lariat, and we reached the time limit after he hit that second one. He had back-to-back buckshots. So yeah. The crowd booed heavily.
Oh, yeah. And quickly into the 5 more minutes chant.
Yeah, but what do you think the ending tells us about these two guys going forward? I mean, I think a rematch is in store eventually.
Oh, a rematch is in store. This is a feud that's not done yet, and be prepared because at any time these two are going to go at it again.
Do you think this is something we could see at Battle of the Belts, or do you think it's something we could see at Revolution?
Could be both.
Could be.
I mean, who's not to say Danielson's been through a lot worse. I don't recall the last time he did a 60-minute match, but not many people do these days. So the fact that they got to do that tells me there's so much more in store for these two when it comes to their feud that has begun quickly.
Well, just think about Bryan Danielson's year this year. I mean, he main evented WrestleMania with Edge and Roman Reigns. Then he had the Grand Slam match against Kenny Omega that went 30 minutes to a time draw. And then tonight, I mean, my goodness, what a year that guy's had.
And another storyline that I could see coming out of this feud, or maybe Hangman builds on this, is in the year 2021, you haven't been able to get the big one. Every time you fought for a belt, you have lost. You can't do it anymore. So maybe this will start to make him kind of question, oh, do I still have what it takes to win the big one? And I think there's at least 2 more storylines coming from this.
Because the thing Hangman kept bringing up is he did what Brian couldn't do. He beat Kenny.
Mm-hmm. Very true. So, very true.
But this was the best Hangman match I've ever seen.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, 2 years ago when he went against Jericho, he wasn't ready for something like this.
Right. So the fact, that he didn't become the first ever like he claimed was perfect, because we wouldn't have gotten this 60-minute match had he been the first champion.
Correct. It was officially the longest match in AEW history. Where do you rank it, Paul, in your rankings as far as best overall match?
Ooh.
I think it's got to be up there. I mean, it was a classic. I mean, it reminded me why I love professional wrestling. A match like that did tonight.
It's in my top 5 for sure, and probably my top 3 even. Yeah. So
I think my favorite still is Double or Nothing 2019 Cody Dustin. That match just hit me right in my core, and I just haven't seen one that got me that emotionally involved since.
Yeah, that is my number 1 favorite AEW match of all time, and I don't see anything beating it.
I mean, we've had some great tag matches, but I put tag matches on a different spectrum. I mean,
yes,
the Bucks
singles competition
at All Out this year, the Bucks and the Lucha Bros at Double or Nothing 2019 and in All Out 2019, the Bucks and FTR 2020 Full Gear. There's been so many good ones.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and how can I forget the Bucks against Kenny and Hangman at 2020 Revolution? That might have been the best one of them all.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we've seen a lot of good ones. We're pretty fortunate that AEW's given us what we want. So
yes, because they listen to their fans.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. After that, we got, speaking of the Young Bucks, the Super Click doing a backstage segment along with Bobby Fish. They're burying the Best Friends. They challenged the Best Friends to an 8-man tag match on Rampage this week. Then Adam Cole says that is a great Christmas gift to give the Young Bucks next week on the Christmas Bash episode. What do you think that's going to be? Holiday Bash.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it's the 6-man tag belt.
Ooh, could be. I'm thinking, see these initials? You kind of make the P into an R there. KOR, Kyle O'Reilly would be my prediction next week.
Okay. All right.
My prediction, but we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's not going to be who I want it to be. I mean, they're bad guys. They need a villain, but that ain't going to happen.
No,
I've come to the conclusion that we're not going to see a villain in AEW.
I don't think so. Yeah, he's wrestling foreign countries right now,
and doing great from what I've seen.
Yep. So we'll see. I think O'Reilly eventually joins. I think we get a new Undisputed Era versus the Bucks and Kenny down the line. I think that's what we get.
I did see. I'm pretty sure it was fan made, but it had the Young Bucks, Adam Cole, and Kevin O'Reilly on a T-shirt, and it said the Undisputed Super Elite or something like that.
Yeah, we'll see. I could see them all being, if O'Reilly does come over, I could see them all being like a big group for a little bit, and then there's a split up internally when Kenny comes back.
Oh yeah, because Adam's already taken over. I mean, that's clear.
Yep. We then got a match that was advertised ahead of time. Matt Seidel versus Wardlow, along with Sean Spears. This is your classic squash match. The bell rang. Seidel got a few strikes in, but Wardlow quickly ended it with a couple power bombs. I think he hit 3. Spears was wanting him to end it after 2, but Wardlow listened to the crowd and hit another one. Spears said they didn't get paid by the hour. That's why he wanted Wardlow to end it quickly. But then afterwards, Spears hit Seidel with multiple chair shots and kind of had a weird look on his face. He got like a almost sexual pleasure from hitting him with a chair.
He is the chairman after all.
He is. He got like a nice release from it. And then Spears answers his cell phone, says they need to go and pick up some champagne, have it ready for MGF so they can celebrate his victory over Martin. Wardlow's somewhat irritated by all of this. And Wardlow was on Busted Open today and did a good interview in character. And he was pretty much saying, I mean, he
It's
drops hints.
coming.
It's coming, and he pretty much said 2022 is got to be his year, and he pretty much said he's got to be bigger than Punk and Bryan Danielson because just look at him. That's what he
Yeah.
said.
And I saw that story,
Mhm.
and I figured you already knew about it, so I didn't send it to you. I saw it like right as Wardlow's music hit, and with the comment that cracked me up that was underneath this, and it may have been the person who posted it. No, it was a comment. If they do this, it needs to be a long, drawn out storyline. Don't just have him flip on him. I'm going, have you not watched in the last 2 years? I mean, seriously.
I mean, they could pull the trigger any week, and I think a lot of us would be fine with it, but they're going to plant a few more seeds. So I think we'll get it by summertime.
Oh, yeah. It'll be June, July of 2022 for sure.
I can't wait. I'm ready to. I enjoy watching it every week. He has me glued to the TV. I gotta stop what I'm doing, no matter what, and then watch.
Oh yeah, even if you know it's a squash match, you're like, I just got to watch him squash this guy.
We then got a promo setting up a match between Tay Conte and Penelope Ford. They're gonna have a submission match on Rampage. Rampage loaded card this week.
Yeah, they're getting almost as many loaded matches as Dynamite is.
They literally will have, I think, 4 matches this week. That equals what we saw on Dynamite tonight.
But nobody's going 60 minutes.
Correct. If they did, it'd be the whole show.
Exactly.
We've seen Kitty and Christian go 30.
Yeah, on Dynamite or on Rampage.
That was still to me the best match we've seen on Rampage to date. So. Which, speaking of Christian, we haven't seen him on TV lately. I guess he was on 2 weeks ago at Dress Express, but haven't seen him in a match since Full Gear.
So. I'm wondering if there's an injury that he doesn't want to admit, or that backstage knows but doesn't want the fans to know.
Could be. We then got a vignette from Malachi Black, and he indicates that someone has joined the House of Black. And I think I think most of AEW fans kind of figured out through the words who that's going to be. I think it's Sir Brody King, who is tag team champion partners with Malachi in Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. And Cassidy Haynes of BodySlam.net broke a story during Dynamite tonight, and I trust this guy because Cassidy's the one who broke the Bryan Danielson signing with AEW story that became correct. So he's got good credibility. He says that Brody King has signed with AEW.
Okay.
So
all right.
It has been since Thanksgiving. So.
And here's the thing. I was sitting there. I love little vignettes from Malachi Black, even, since he debuted. So many things he said in there is exactly what he said during the interview when I interviewed him. That I'm like, man, this guy just keeps it all in his brain. He's got to, what is a house without members? It's not just a foundation. It's
a mortar foundation.
Yeah. And I'm like, you said those exact same words to me. I was like, this is great.
No, it was. I thought the same thing. I'm like, yep, this is exactly what he was talking to Paul about. And this is what he wanted to do in WWE, but they had him sit behind a locked door like Mr. Rogers and talk about coming and knock on his door and
knock on my door if you want to face me.
Yeah. So,
but I got to give it to the man. He sold it. He made it creepy.
No, he tried. Yep, he tried to do what he was given and tried to make the best of it. So. But I'm really enjoying what they're doing with his character and everybody involved in the storyline, too.
Oh, yeah.
Then we got the women's match of the night, the third match between these two ladies, Akira Shita and Sharina Deeb. This was a fun women's match.
I was actually excited for this match. Normally, rubber matches, I'm not a big fan of, unless there's a good storyline. There wasn't a huge storyline with these two, but I was excited for it just because I knew this was a grudge match. It was going to get down and dirty, and it was going to get down and dirty quick.
Yeah, I wasn't surprised by the win. Akira Shita going over Sharina Deeb, but it was still a fun back and forth match. Towards the end, we saw Deeb hit a neck breaker, but when she went for a third, Shita countered it and hit Deeb with the Falcon Arrow. Deeb then put Shita in a single leg crab hold. But Sharina and Shita both exchanged some strikes, and Deeb gained control. Deeb exposed the top turnbuckle, but Shita hit Deeb with the jackknife, which got the 1, 2, 3.
And with only 1 foot on the mat too
Yep.
for Shida. So props to her for pulling something like that off.
Yep. It was a good women's match. One of the better
it
ones
was.
we've seen in weeks.
I have not seen Aubrey Edwards get involved before the bell rang in a while, and so it was nice to hear just hey, back it up, stop this.
Yep. Well, it's a personal rivalry between those two, so I like that.
I hate to say it, but I don't think we're done yet.
I'm fine with it. Every match they put on is good. So
Absolutely.
after the match, we saw Shivani interviewing the Varsity Blondes, which just had Griff Garrison and Brian Pillman Jr. know Julia Hart. They talk about Malachi Black and what he did to Julia Hart. Brian Pillman tells Griff Garrison to think it through and not let this guy get into your head. So once again, Malachi is getting into the heads of people, making them turn on their partners almost. Griff tells Pillman that Julia is a sister to them, and if you don't fight, I will. He says he will break Malachi's jaw next week. Yeah, good luck with that, Griff.
Yeah, in the words of Johnny Hungy, who the is Griff Garrison?
Well,
and I think that's what Malachi is going to be thinking. That's probably, Malachi's probably going, who is this guy?
He's going to get destroyed next week.
Yeah.
Which is the only advertised match so far for next week.
At this point, yes.
Yes, yeah. Probably find out more Friday. But we got a video.
I meant at this point in the show. We got a match at the tail end of the show.
Oh, you're right. You're right. We got a video highlight package of Hook from last week's Rampage, which he made his debut. We talked about that at the start of the show.
Yeah, and they talked to Taz a little bit, basically about being a proud daddy.
That was cool. That was cool. I love the shot somebody took of when Hook was walking down the rampway. Taz was standing up at commentary clapping. That was really cool.
Yeah.
That was cool. I know JR is great and all, and wish him the best right now in his battle with skin cancer. And looking forward to hearing him on commentary again here in 2 weeks, assuming he can return and do that again. But I like this 3-man team of Excalibur, Taz, and Shivani. They work really well together.
Yes, yeah, because Shivani and Taz have like this unspoken rivalry between the two of them, and then both of them just always seem to tell Excalibur to shut up.
Yep.
So
I think it was. A lot of these guys did those 3 a.m. dark tapings when they had to do so much taping last year in Georgia, and I think they really built some chemistry through that.
Yep.
We then got the main event, the Dynamite Diamond Ring Finals match between Dante Martin and MJF. But before the match, MJF came out, cut a promo running down Texas. He then talked about how CM Punk could only talk about sports teams in his promos. He then said CM Punk is the new Ryback.
Yeah.
He takes some shots and says he is the future of the business. It always seems they pull out a dig on WWE almost every week. What did you think about this one, throwing Ryback in the mix? It was funny.
It was funny. It was one of those, it was just perfect. It was late. It wasn't forced. They're doing it the right way. But Ryback has started asking his fans, at least on TikTok, where should I end up? And a lot of people are saying AEW. And he even did a little video where he basically said, maybe I will be All Elite.
I thought about a year ago, I was really listening to his podcast and watching his YouTube stuff, and before he kind of went off the rails for a little bit and lost my interest. And
he's still off the rails.
I thought he would be All Elite, but now I don't see a fit for him in the company. And I don't know. It's been this long. He keeps rehabbing and trying to get healthy to come back somewhere. I don't know when that's going to be.
Well, I don't know if he did it on either his podcast or his YouTube channel, but he did do like a 2.5-minute video on TikTok where basically he said, I was in WWE. I left because I was injured. I kept fighting through my injury. And it's the same story we hear from all these guys. Mm-hmm. I had to keep going. I had this massive injury, but I had to keep going because it didn't require surgery. And now I'm out of the company and now I'm getting it all taken care of. And people are like, you should have done this years ago. And I couldn't. My boss wouldn't let me.
Yeah, as long as VKM Vincent Kennedy McMahon is alive and running WWE, Ryback will not be a part of that company.
No,
So
no.
I don't know where he'll eventually end up, if anywhere, but I don't really want to see it in AEW, to be honest.
Send him to ROH, where they just had the new group formed.
Well, RH isn't a thing anymore. I mean, they say they're going to come back in April.
Well,
I'll believe when I see it. Honestly, I think it's
yeah.
done. But no, the new group, the Free the Narrative group, Adam Shear, Killer Cross, he's going by now instead of Carrion, and EC3. We could see them show up in a promotion at any time. I know Impact really wanted Share, and of course they've had a good relation with EC3, but things didn't end so well for Scarlet and Killer Cross. So I don't know if those three will be popping up in Impact. But I tell you, I like how those three are together because as a collective unit, I think they're more intriguing than themselves as single talents. So
Yeah.
if they play this right way, it could be a huge storyline throughout the wrestling world.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, and then the main event happened like we said. Dante Martin, I could watch this kid all day, every day, 24/7, 365. He's so smooth in the ring. Even the moonsault, which is unbelievable, that he kind of hit. He got his knee in the face of MGF, but he pretty much missed it. That was still incredible just to even attempt to pull off. Um, Towards the end of the match, we saw Dante lose some focus, allowing MGF to lock in the salt of the earth, and Dante ended up tapping out. So MJF won his third Dynamite Diamond ring. After the match, FTR came out to celebrate with MJF, started beating up Dante Martin. Then the lights went out. I thought for sure, Paul, we were getting them boys. I thought the Briscoes were coming out. I was getting very excited. And then it was Steen and Darby. I gotta admit, I was just gonna like, we didn't need the
Aww.
lights to go out for these guys.
Right. I thought with hear me out
Hmm.
as just a fan, not somebody who does a podcast or anything. I thought, all right, the Ryback mentioned the lights go out. Is it Ryback? Because this is a show that last year we got a debut from Sting.
Yep.
It was the most talked about show until probably Chicago.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I thought for sure this was going to be a debut, and I thought, well, man, they mentioned Ryback, it'd be too easy for that. But
Yeah, I thought the Briscoes for sure with the Twitter exchanges those two are doing as recently as yesterday. Um, them showing up at Final Battle, FTR that is, and fighting the Briscoes. I mean, I'll be shocked if the Briscoes don't show up within the next month on AEW television because one of the Briscoe brothers even mentioned Tony Khan yesterday on Twitter like
yeah,
2 or 3 times in his little minute and a half spiel. So I want to see it. I want to see the Briscoes in AEW. There's so much tag talent they could go against, starting with FTR. But I was just a little disappointed because I feel like they didn't need the lights to go out and come back on for Darby and Sting. They could have just done the lights down a little bit, had Snowfall and Sting's music hit, or even Darby's music hit and come out. But I think they did it on purpose, teasing, which everybody thought it might be the Briscoes or maybe Wyndham
yeah,
or
yeah,
somebody, you know.
yeah. With
So
the well, everybody's got their cell phone flashlights on. I went,
yeah,
he's back. Nope, I was wrong.
no, we were all wrong. I think we are all just kind of let down. But then, so Darby and Sting are trying to make the save. They're getting beat up too, and then the crowd starts chanting CM Punk. CM Punk's music hits. He runs out with Sting's baseball bat. FTR and MJF get out of the ring. Punk goes to check on Darby and Sting and challenges MJF and FTR to a 6-man tag match. That's next week.
Yep. And that was the match that Tony Khan just signed, even though
Yeah,
they kept telling us a big
yeah,
match announcement for next
yeah.
week.
That was annoying because I'm like, we're in the show. I'm like, okay, this is what he was talking about, and even though he's not making the announcement, I mean, it's like, yeah,
He
they kind of
never
spoiled
is.
it.
Shivani makes the announcement on behalf of Tony
Yep,
Khan.
yep,
TK stays off TV, which is perfect. I like he comes out, he welcomes the fans, he sends them home happy. He doesn't need to be on TV.
right, right.
Let us have that in live or in person moment with him, and that be it.
Yep. But fun show overall. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, yeah,
Different pace of show just because the first match lasted an hour. Which
Yeah.
gotta give a shout out to SRS Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful. Earlier today, he teased everybody with a GIF of 60 minutes. And everybody was wondering what he was talking about. And I even thought, is he going to say that the title match is going to go an hour tonight? And then, like, at the end of the title match, he had another GIF in reference to 60 minutes. I'm like, yep, that's what it was.
Yeah.
So he
Yep.
also broke the news today. Fightful did. Kevin Owens, formerly known as Kevin Sting on the Indies, re-signed with WWE. So it sounded like, I mean, I don't know his intentions or anything, but it sounded like they thought even if he came eligible to be a free agent, AEW couldn't have matched the offer that WWE gave him, whatever it was. So he must have got paid pretty well.
He might be one of those guys that Vince will pay way more than he needs to pay just to keep him on the roster.
Right. And I think that probably helps Sami Zayn's chances of staying with the company too.
Oh, yeah, because if Kevin leaves, Sammy's gone.
But like I said, I think Kyle O'Reilly's eventually going to be all elite, maybe as early as next week. And Johnny Gargano, we'll see where he pops up about March or April. But the fact that he already has a Twitch account, he already got a Twitch account and Pro Wrestling T store going. So you can't
Maybe
do that
not.
in WWE. Yeah. So
yeah,
in the fact that he got that up within hours after he became a free agent, he already had that planned. So
yeah, maybe he just becomes a stay-at-home dad for a while.
He could, and I mean, I guess he can always take those down and re-sign with WWE. But that just made me think he's gonna go in the Indies for a little while, or maybe even AEW.
Yeah,
we'll see. I mean,
he very well could.
You know, at C2E2, I think it's called
C2. Yep. Chicago Comic-Con.
Yeah, some people asked about Johnny Gargano potentially joining the company, and Adam Cole pretty much said he'd love to go against him. Billy Gunn said he'd love to go against him, but he only comes up to his waist. So it was it was good. And Adam Cole was asked about Kyle O'Reilly too, and he said he had no idea what Kyle was going to do, but he said he'd love the team with Kyle and Bobby again. So
yeah, we'll see what happens.
We will.
It's the undisputed.
And your guy, CD Christopher Daniels, said he wants to get back in the ring at AEW, but said that the roster's so stacked there might not be a place for him right now. But he said if they want him to, he'll be ready.
Yep, and you know, he's mentioned openly a few times. Still dealing with some eye troubles. His eye was
still gnarly looking.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, he'll be he'll heal up pretty soon, and he'll debut or return when nobody expects it.
Because I haven't seen him since SCU broke up with the loss of the Bucks.
And I think it'll be the Fallen one.
Yeah,
I think we'll get the Fallen Angel when he comes
different
back.
Music when he came out instead of the SCU music. So,
yep.
All right, Paul.
Yeah.
With rating first. Rating for the show.
Okay. All right. I'm actually going to go with a solid 9.
Niner.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, I know we only had 4 matches, but that first hour, man, that did it for me right there. It was a solid.
That's why we watch professional wrestling.
Instant classic, reignited. If you were starting to lose hope in professional wrestling, that match will reignite it for you if you have not seen it yet.
You know, I'm so sick of the ratings talk. I am so sick of ratings talk. Who cares? With DVR and streaming, everything gets calculated differently now. Just watch your wrestling. Watch what you like.
Yes.
Shut up and enjoy it. God, there's so much bitching about ratings and this product and this product. I don't care if you watch WWE. Like, I know you don't, Paul, or at least too much. Right. But if you did, I wouldn't care. I want you to watch what you enjoy, and I'm not gonna judge you on that at all. I mean, jeez.
Yep.
God.
Yeah, and like, you know, with the ratings thing, I will have YouTube TV. That doesn't count right away.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I mean, it's like a 45, 50 second delay.
The Nielsen ratings have been so screwed up for years.
Yeah, tell me about it.
And as long as TNT and TBS, Turner's happy, who cares?
Exactly.
Who cares?
Yeah, they're saying,
as long as you're selling good merch and you're selling good ticket sales to your shows, you're doing something right. So.
Sold out arena after sold out arena after sold out arena, when some people can only fill half the arena.
Mm-hmm.
maybe they should bring their venues down a little bit so they could say
Exactly.
sold out.
Exactly.
As AEW is probably starting to look at even bigger ones than they have been at.
Yep. I did see AW. I'm glad you brought that up real quick before I get my rating, because for Revolution, they are going to a smaller arena. They were going to go to the Amway Center where the Orlando Magic played. Now they scaled it back to an arena that's about half that size. So they'll fill it out to the brim.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's one thing I like. They want to have those sold out shows. They want everybody to be able to come, but they know they're not they couldn't sell out the Jacksonville Stadium. Can't think of the name.
Yeah.
Right next door to Daly's place.
No, Jaguars play. It's a something
Yeah.
bank. PF. Yeah. Something. Yeah.
Yeah. But they know they can't sell that out yet.
Right.
Something that size. So they're not going to try.
Right.
Why try when you know you're not there yet? And that's what I give TK a lot of credit for.
Yeah, it's a company that's still young. I mean, they don't have a 50-year head start or whatever like the WWE, and they did sell at the United Center on a freaking rumor. So
yeah,
they can sell it, and they sold out Arthur Ashe. So I mean, they can once in a while sell out nice venues. They're just not going to do stadium shows yet, and maybe eventually they will.
Right. Yeah, give them time; they'll be there. Just bear with them. Jeez, people.
I'm going with a solid 8 tonight for tonight's show.
Okay. All right.
I enjoyed it a lot. Just a couple nitpick things here and there, but 8's a pretty solid grade from me. I haven't been high on the 8s in a while. It's been like 7-ish range. So
yeah, I don't know the next time I'll give away another 9, but
9's pretty darn good.
Yeah, your face when I said 9, you're like, wait, what?
As these should be. These Dynamite events should be these special events. So
yep.
The next, I mean, I feel like they're going to put pedal to the metal. The next couple weeks are going to be good shows, and once the TBS switch happens in January, we're gonna be off to the races.
Oh yeah, I think that's what they're trying to do is just kind of keep the storylines they've got going now. So if maybe you don't catch it every week on TNT, but you get TBS and not TNT for some strange reason, a lot of streaming services offer TBS but not TNT. That's one reason.
Well, and it sounds like these quarterly specials are going to be called every time Battle of the Belts. They're not going to change the name, so it's going to be kind of a play on the old Clash of Champions.
Yeah.
Which I like. I like that.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I do too. I agree with that. That's a good move. So I'm going to ask the hard hitting question. Not a whole lot of people to pick between tonight.
Yeah.
Your wrestler of the night.
I don't do this very often, but I got to go with 2 guys, and this is the cop out easy answer. It's Hangman Adam Page and Bryan Danielson. I don't know how you can't choose both of them tonight.
Yeah. I completely agree with you, but
you have to.
There's just no way. I mean, MJF, he won his 3rd Dynamite Diamond. Okay, you know what? We knew that was coming.
Yeah, he'd be a 20-year-old.
Yeah.
Which could be the business, but I mean,
right. I'm right there with you. I'm going with Hangman and Danielson. I mean, there's nobody else you can pick.
I mean, that was a super match. I mean,
yes,
one of the best.
Yes.
I think I'll put in my top 3 of single matches for AEW.
Yeah.
I think I will.
Yep. It's right up there with my top 3.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
So, yeah. Looking forward to what's coming in the future for AEW. Again, they're still a young company.
Rampage is going to be fun Friday night.
Oh, man. 10-man tag match, 8-man tag match.
Eddie, Proud and Powerful, and the Lucha Brothers. Take my money now.
Yeah, I know.
I don't even care who's on the opposite side. Take my money. Which is
exactly.
What is it? It's 2.0 plus
2 others. I didn't catch who it was.
And they pulled it up on the graphic, and I don't remember who it was.
I was in the process of moving some things to get ready to podcast, so I didn't catch who the opponents were.
Yeah. I don't remember off the top of my head. It might have been Blade and somebody else.
Could have been. I wouldn't put it past them. Yeah. I'm going to see if I can find it real quick. I'm sure you're probably doing the exact same thing.
Hardy Family Office, I do want to say FIFO Select said that the Butcher tore his bicep when he came back for that one match.
Ooh.
And Mark Quinn's been off TV for a couple months with an injury as well. So that's why we haven't seen those 2 guys. And also in Helico, it hasn't been used for a while of TH2. They said he's still in the company for now.
Yeah, I saw a little picture of him here recently. I don't remember where I saw it.
He will be one that's not getting his contract renewed.
Which
really they haven't done much with TH2. So
Well, let's not forget
Well,
why.
and Jack Evans, hopefully he's okay. I mean,
Yeah, I
last
haven't
week we reported
seen
I haven't seen
anything.
anything else on that down in Mexico.
Yeah. By the way, just so we're aware, Wyndham is trending on Twitter right now.
Is he?
Yes. So is Excalibur
Hmm.
and Kyle O'Reilly.
Yeah. Oh, and Tony said there's a lot of surprises coming, so we gotta watch every week.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can find the card, but I can't. So I cannot report who it was.
Well, let me see if I can do some digging real quick.
All right. While you do some digging real quick, I'm going to take this moment to talk about something else. Just so everybody is aware of this. Tonight, you were originally supposed to be joined by Rip Ryerson, had a conflict of interest, couldn't be here tonight, but he wanted me to pass along some information for you about the Functified Wrestling Federation. This is a company based out of Warsaw, so if you're in the area, come check it out. They've got a show this Saturday. Doors open at 6 o'clock. Bell time is at 7. It is going to be an absolutely great show. It is called The Fight. Twas the Fight Before Christmas is this Saturday show. Again, doors open at 6, bell time 7 o'clock. It's a stacked card. Indie wrestling at its finest. You're going to want to come to the CCAC, the County Council Athletic Complex. Check it out. And they are expanding. As of right now, they have 4 shows set for Columbia City in January, May, August, and November of next year. And then there's probably a good another 20 matches that will be taking place at the CCAC. If you're listening to us right now and you want to know more about Functified Wrestling Federation, search them up on Facebook, Functified Wrestling Federation. You can probably search FWF as well, and it'll come up. Or search up Rip Ryerson Jr., Scott Alexander, a couple of guys that you'll be able to find some information on pretty quickly to tie into
This is an
Functified
old
Wrestling.
graphic, but I can bring it up there.
Yeah, that's from Strive to Survive.
That was from November 27th.
Yep. There's that Rip Ryerson guy again.
Yep.
Man.
Kind of looks familiar.
I know, right? But for the CCAC shows, it all kicks off January 15th with New Year's Funk 8. So that's sounding like it's going to be a good show. Again, this Saturday, you've got Twas the Fight Before Christmas. And as we talk about those, that same matchup basically will be taking place again, only the belt's on the other side now.
Okay, so we're getting a rematch between Damien Easterday and Scott Alexander?
Yes, we are. Scott Alexander is going to defend his title against former champion Damien Easterday. This is for the
Cruiserweight Championship.
Yep. Damien says that Rip's the reason that Scott has the belt, and Scott says, nope, it was all me. So they're going to hash it out again and see if they can get to the bottom of this as these guys battle it out once more. There's a lot more on the card as well. And there's a special Christmas seminar as well that'll be taking place from 3:30 to 5:30 p.m. with a little guy out of Cleveland by the name of J Rock Daddy. Now, if you have followed ROH, you will have seen this gentleman before. And one of the new wrestling coaches for Functified Wrestling Federation is none other than former Impact star Congo Kong. So big guy, great guy, super nice guy. Lots of good matches on this card for this Saturday. But yeah, we'll see Damien Easterday take on Scott Alexander. Shady Chris Zion will take on Red Rum. Red Rum will have Frankie Vegas with him in his corner, and so much more. So much more.
One thing for Rampage Friday, I forgot to mention the return of Dan Lambert.
Oh. Well, that show just went downhill quick.
That's the exact reaction I was hoping I'd get from you.
Yes.
I still never found out the two guys teaming with 2.0. I did not find out, but I forgot about good old fat face Lambert coming back.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some other words for him, but we'll leave that on the table. But yeah, as we're talking about, 'twas the fight before Christmas. We'll see Ryan Paradise take on Dio Salvador, and then we've also got, if I can get to it here through the sponsors, Pastor Pulse taking on the returning Tank. Tank took some time off. He's back with a vengeance. He's trying to take out Pastor Pulse, who is Cletus Farmer's kind of protege, so to speak. Then we'll see CFR taking on J Rock. Hoss Hoxley will take on SWAT team member number 49. Now, that'll be a good one. The SWAT team is huge. There's like 99 guys on the SWAT team, I think, and they're always willing to take on anybody. We'll see Legendary defend their FWF Tag Team Championship
How many matches
belts
on this card? My goodness.
Oh man, it's a pay-per-view size card. But they will be taking on Jason Levi and Chris Gordon, and then your main event is a blindfold match between Mr. Fitness and Officer Rod Street.
Blindfold match. How's that?
Blindfold match. Both members will be blindfolded. I don't know if I'm hoping they like put some type of rope on them so they know they're only so far away from each other.
Probably gimmick blindfolds.
Maybe this will be the first blindfold match I've ever seen.
Yeah, you'll have to.
I'm interested.
You'll have to let me know how that goes.
Yeah.
Real quick, I got a text message from a friend of both of ours, Austin Shepard, said it's the acclaimed.
Hey.
It's the acclaimed who's partners with 2.0. So.
Thank you, Austin.
Yeah. I don't know how I missed that. So Anthony Max Caster
should have known. Those guys have been kind of working together here lately.
Yeah, but what sucks, that means they're going to lose again. All they do is get losses on Rampage and Dynamite, and they're two very talented guys.
Yeah, but that means we get Max Caster on the microphone.
That's true. That's true. Anytime we can get Max on the mic, it's pretty good.
Yeah, so that's going to do it for FWF as well. So
it sounds like a jam-packed show on Saturday. Said twas the match.
Twas the fight before Christmas.
Fight before Christmas.
Yep. December 18th, doors open at 6, bells at 7 o'clock. First match will happen about 5 minutes after the ring announcer gets into the ring, because we always take our time to read off our sponsors, and we've got plenty of them.
Oh, yeah, you gotta give thanks to everybody that makes the show possible. So.
Absolutely. So, if you need more information, search up Functified Wrestling Federation or hit me up on Facebook, Twitter, any social media. You can find me at Paul Zartman 921. So, ask away. Tanner, final thoughts for KOP this week?
I sound like a broken record now, but match like the opening match night reminds me why I like pro wrestling and why I'm glad I didn't get out of my pro wrestling fandom in 2018 when I almost did. So I don't know. I still have to pinch myself sometimes that Bryan Danielson, CM Punk are in AEW, and we get matches like this on free television once in a while from Tony Khan.
Yeah, this is a great match. I'm looking forward to more of these.
Oh yeah, and I'm looking forward to the coming weeks. I mean, I think we're going to see some debuts soon. Looking forward to the transition over to TBS. I think that's going to be fun. Because I think they're going to change the look of the show a little bit.
That'll be fun.
Comments Tony's made, I think they're going to change the look of it a little bit. I don't know if that means some different colors or just the presentation a little different, or I don't know what all he's talking about. But
as long as we don't put commentary ringside, I'm good.
No, I like it up there on the side of the stage. I think that's perfect.
Yep.
But another fun show tonight. Like I said, I gave it 8 out of 10, so that's pretty solid ranking for me.
Yep. And with that, be sure to check out Pro Wrestling Tees. Kicking Out Podcast has merchandise up there. We've got that Christmas shirt still available.
Yeah.
You can get yourself a KOP Christmas themed t-shirt.
Probably
with a
won't
little
get it in time if you ordered it right now, but
hey, you know what? Yeah, nobody's going to say anything. Yeah. You can say, it's KOP.
Yep.
Who cares?
There you go.
You're rocking the KOP merch. You're supporting a great podcast and looking great while doing so. Be
100%.
sure to follow Kicking Out Podcast on all social media at Kicking Out Pod. Listen to us wherever you listen to your podcasts. If it happens to be Apple Podcasts, be sure to give us a like and a review. That'll help us out a lot.
Yeah, give us that Dave Meltzer 5-star rating, please.
There we go. Go 6-star rating. Why not? And be sure to follow Tanner Lee on all social media at Tanner Lee92. Again, follow myself at Paul Zartman 921. And with that, for Tanner Lee, I'm Paul Zartman. Join us again next week as we kick out yet another podcast.